All right, I'm back.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you were gone by the time I saw this, but on one of the Seattle streams, there's a guy there wearing a metal helmet and holding like a medieval-style wooden shield. like,
God.
like he's standing in the front line, like on the opposite side from the police with their riot gear.
Uh-huh.
So I don't blame him for bringing a shield.
Yeah, really.
Like with all the tear gas canisters getting shot at people's heads, I would be wanting to wear some more substantial protection. And there's people in gas masks in the crowd too.
Which,
like respirators and goggles.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've been seeing a lot of clips of cops, ripping those off people's faces before, spraying them down.
Mm-hmm. Well, this line of cops isn't holding riot shields, but they're holding looks like big wooden batons. Bigger than the normal police batons. Ugh. But yeah, Seattle's got a lot of representation going on right now, and there's a bunch of different angles of the front line.
Yeah.
There's that overhead shot I was showing you, and then there's one from somebody that's like right in the front line under all the umbrellas.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up.
Okay.
Temporarily. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna run it while we're streaming because even at 480p, it's having to buffer itself a bit.
Yeah, from the overhead shot, it looks like there's that little line of brick wall at the far end. I think that's where the guy with there he is. He's on the bottom right corner.
Okay.
Like wearing armor and holding a shield.
Jesus.
But he's over that way.
I suppose it makes sense that it's not dark yet in Seattle.
Yeah.
Even if it is in Hollywood, because farther north.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be, it'll be 9 o'clock there.
Oh,
yeah, it looks like everybody knows.
People.
What's that?
All I see are anime people.
What?
Oh, I guess I gotta watch the anime people.
There's the guy.
Yeah, there he is.
Jesus.
I don't blame him.
No.
Like, if he has all that stuff at home, it's going to protect him better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've considered going to, friggin' Lowe's or Home Depot or something, buying a sheet of plywood and putting some handles on it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to close this out so we can...
Okay.
All ready to continue? I'll try to get back into character. You're back into character now.
Yep. The belt of prophecy.
Absolutely. Drago Funk, you good?
No, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, we are back for part 2 of this, I guess you could call it a special edition, I don't know, of Hwy47 commentary. We are, if you are confused about where we're at, then you are right in the middle of something here, so you should go back and get to the beginning. This is, we are starting part 2 of the Star Trek Deep Space Nine two-parter story called Past Tense. For those of you who navigate by episode numbers, this is season 3, episode 12. The prior one was episode 11. We have just finished watching episode 11. And we are just going to dive right into episode 12. We are running live on recording, and everything is good. So, gentlemen, manipulators over your play buttons.
We're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. This is Star Trek Deep Space Nine Past Tense Part 2 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Interesting to see how long this recap is compared to the ones on Picard, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering why we're not hearing about San Francisco compared to most other cities, but anybody who would be a target of police has been priced out of living in San Francisco, like in the real 2020. That probably has a lot to do with it. But I've heard like Oakland and San Jose. One minute 27 for the recap.
And it hit all the high points.
Yep. Suddenly he's a tactician. And the vaguely ethnic guy knows better. As we would expect.
And that's something I didn't pick up on when I first saw this,
Exactly. Ira Stephen Bear, this is a masterpiece. Like, this is proving to be... the flaw in my plan.
But yeah, as for this effect not really holding up to HD, when they were discussing doing an HD restoration of Deep Space Nine, there were all the big ship battles towards the end of the series.
Yeah,
and people were going back, the FX companies that worked on the show, because they were CGI models for that.
Mm-hmm.
And the models were far more detailed than what showed up on TV.
Oh, I believe it.
They, and they're like, oh, we don't have the source files anymore. Well, a lot of the people that worked on them saved their source files, and one of them re-rendered some of it, and it looks pretty damn good.
Oh, I'm sure.
So that was actually impressive that they, thought ahead.
They did a short for Babylon 5 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And they went back to the the studio made them keep the CD that had all the ship renders there. So they go to get the CD and they open the CD case and it's gone.
Oh.
So they had to. They're like, well, what are we going to do? So they went on line, and there's a whole community that recreates 3D models.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they just said, we need these 3D models, and model makers were able to supply them with very, very good versions.
I'm just waiting for the time that CBS realizes how much they f***ed up by shutting down Stage 9,
If they ever do.
Yeah. Well.
So the actor who played Vin died last year, December 30th, 2019.
What was his name?
Dick Miller.
Dick Miller, okay.
Or no, I'm sorry, January 30th, 2019.
Yeah, why do they sound so surprised? Because they've been insulated by the media. Yeah.
Yep. Because the news is telling them about the looters. And they're saying, well, I just wish people didn't... You could just keep this peaceful. You don't have to destroy things.
You weren't listening. And
just it's not worth rioting. It's just, that's... If you want to be treated better, then you shouldn't break things, just like how if you're a woman and you don't want to be raped, you shouldn't dress slutty, It's the truth of life, right? Just be a better person if you want people to think you're a better person. Just be like a rich white guy. Like, have you tried having money and owning property? Like, it really does make things easier. Just try it.
Directed by Jonathan Frakes. I didn't catch that.
Yep. And he, I think this is the last Deep Space Nine he directed, and he has said it's the best one he did. But he only did part 2. He didn't do part 1. It's hard to imagine anybody with that much power being that compassionate, like that guy there in the modern day.
You mean like Bill Gates?
Yeah.
Oh wait, he's trying to turn us all into zombies or something.
5G towers,
Yeah.
He created the coronavirus.
It's happened to me plenty of times.
Yeah.
Why don't you just leave her and take one of the female human crew members? Why does it have to be a female?
Well, you got to go in case they get beamed to the era of human history where the women took over and men were horribly repressed. Oh wait, never mind.
By the way, that boxing ad is a recreation of the one that was hanging in the background in The City on the Edge of Forever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That one right there.
What?
Chaotic neutral. Yeah. Federal Employment Act.
Oh man.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
That's-
jobs. That'd be nice. If only there was some sort of infrastructure we could be building that would create jobs and help people.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only there was some sort of precedent for that. Yeah.
If only there were, like, roads that needed to be repaired. Bridges. I mean, it's a good thing we have, like, a perfectly functioning, really robust, like, public rail system. A white person who looks successful. I cannot tell you how many tweets I've seen today that have said, as much, it's like Black Lives Matter people who are like, as much as we should be able to do all this ourselves, for now, we really do need some white spokespeople so that people will listen. Isn't that a damn shame? Like,
Let me just pick up this computer.
yeah, really.
Weighs 6,000 pounds. Oh, that lady's facial expressions.
She was
Commercial
cast
break.
perfectly for this role. Whee!
We're back.
Woo! I like it up personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put them here. Yeah. Diet Coke is a small comfort, but I have some.
I'm drinking regular Coke.
Well, you fancy.
I am.
With your red can. My thoughts and prayers are with you in this difficult time.
They keep doing that.
Commercial
There
break.
should be shells.
TV guns work differently.
Yeah. I need to make a point. Their guns are empty by now.
Yeah, right.
I love that line.
I love when Cisco does things like that too. Man, even the 60s aren't wacky enough to pick up my mood after that.
Man, they're awfully clothed for coming out of that van.
Well, they're probably just smoking up. Or, like, maybe one of them was practicing guitar. I mean, you can't have sex constantly.
Challenge accepted.
I mean, you know, there have been times when, you know.
Get the out of here, man.
The Petersons.
You already got the kicked out of you once.
Yeah, right. Oh, hey, it's one of those air-powered straight out of the 80s. Oh, that's what Joe Biden was saying like yesterday.
Oh, there's a Periscope feed from Robert Evans in Portland, Oregon. I wonder if I think that's the guy that did the It Could Happen Here podcast.
Oh, cool. I thought that dude was like trying to saw that dumpster in half with a 2x4.
Well, I mean, he might be. One of my favorite little aside moments in this episode is about to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we are.
This guy's great. Hmm.
Commercial break.
Whee!
How do you stay this clean?
Yeah, really. Not even a run in your hose. Nice patent leather high heels, you know?
It's an ancient trill technique.
Yeah.
Oh, I just licked him clean. What? Do you know what a sewer is? No, not really. Oh, we'll tell you later.
Oh.
Of course.
Show a little leg to that computer nerd.
I swear he played the same character on Babylon 5.
I'm sure he did. He's so perfect for it.
Put it in your pocket, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Or even like under your lapel, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly, it's not like we need to know that she's in Starfleet.
yeah, but taking off your comm badge makes you out of uniform, man.
Oh, okay.
Yep, pretty much. Well, if we learned anything from the president, that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Ratings are more important than lives, after all.
About time those goals aligned.
And that is a huge cell phone.
Remember how cell phones were getting smaller? Now they're getting bigger again?
Well, maybe we'll actually have folding, smartphones in 4 years.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Commercial break.
Whee!
We're back. And they're back.
Oh man, we could get trifold cell phones.
That'd be cool.
I didn't look.
Luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
Oh. Pet Zone.
No quad cycles.
Damn it.
What about unicycles?
Haven't gotten that one down yet. We've been here for 12 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, imagine if that was their logic. Out of these 3 dates, we'll pick the latest one.
Right. Interestingly, the Yankees won the World Series in '99. You know the name of the team that won the World Series in 2015? Take a guess.
The
Yankees?
What'd you say, Draco Funk? I didn't hear you.
The hold on. It was the
You're Googling it, aren't you?
yes.
It was the Royals.
ooh,
So as close as it gets to the Kings.
damn.
This episode called it.
Wakey, wakey. Eggs and dead people.
Oh.
Oh. Raider. He won't. Maybe skip
Not like that, though.
Not like Luke and Leia.
They didn't predict. They didn't predict that trend.
Thanks, Biddle.
Damn it! They're just all out of ammo now.
Yeah, right.
Shotgun shells, strewn about the floor.
Oh.
Yeah, no warning. Woo!
They're not shouting. Cops just. Okay.
Well, they haven't been listening to that lately either.
Right.
Oh man, imagine if the government was actually assisting the hurt people.
Yeah.
Mm. Except for the part where you let us go.
Yeah. You wouldn't think that would be so much to ask.
Damn it.
And that's that. What do you say?
I wish we had an answer.
I mean, I think that the truth of it is we have many answers.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, part of it is we have too many people that don't have answers that are in positions of power.
No,
well, and
they
so
have
many people
answers. It's just not.
Yeah, they have answers that only work for themselves individually. You know, and they have answers that rely on taking from everyone else to build themselves up. You know, what makes you deserve anything more than the person next to you deserves it? You know, what the hell did I ever do to deserve a 3-bedroom home with a basement and, you know, stable career for the moment? To be born a white man. Just luck of the draw, you know, what how would someone like me dare to say that I should be better off than the people living next door? Like, what right would I have to say that? And it's like I said earlier, you know, I can tell myself all day that I worked to earn this, and I did. You know, I mean, I put in, you know, I did my bit for King and Country, and I put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, of time, and effort, and thought, and energy, and all that, and I'm very proud of that. But you know, how many job interviews were down to a flip of a coin, or, you know, I like that guy's handshake over the other guy, or just, you know, the fact that I was the only one who applied for a job, or, you know, or whatever, you know, just luck of the draw. There's nothing special about me. I had a friend, and Draco Funk, you knew this person as well. Tall guy, big Lebowski fan. Name I won't say on the air. You know him. Really like to play Dungeons and Dragons. And I remember just having a long talk with him about narcissism one day. Just, you know, just probably an hour of just chatting about it. About, you know, his theory on life being that we're all governed by narcissism and our own self-interest, and there's no such thing as altruistic behavior, and I think there's a lot of truth to it, because, you know, what perspective can you take other than your own, right? You know, and at the risk of getting philosophical about it, I mean, how much does that have to tie into all this? You know, what does it say about you if you believe that you're the exception? You know, what does it say about you if you look at a world with 8 billion people in it and you think, well, I'm the only one here who really should have nice things, who really should, all this stuff, and those other people are just not as worth it as I am. I don't know. Maybe that's one answer.
The sad part is that everybody thinks this is over one person.
Yeah.
They don't realize this goes back years and years. It's somebody it's 1, 2, or 3, 4 people every year, and it keeps happening.
Well, and that's just the high profile ones, There's so many that we aren't hearing about. And there are people that don't acknowledge that those other ones even happened. It's like, oh, I only heard about these on the news. Well, what did you not hear on the news? Because not everything's getting reported. Just a little blurb in the paper, a local paper that doesn't make it to the national level. We don't hear about those.
And I mean, I see people on Facebook, somebody said, well, this unarmed white kid was shot in his car. Why aren't people protesting about that? And my thought is, why aren't you out there protesting? Because, a lot of people, part of it is they want to end police brutality.
Well, sure, and I mean,
and I understand, but.
Well, and pardon me for being presumptuous, but again, just like earlier, I don't think this is actually presuming anything. I don't, I show me a level-headed black person who says that white people should stand in for them and get all the bad treatment instead of them. No, they're out there saying that nobody deserves this. And the fact that point even has to be made shows racism in the attitudes, like it very much is about race, but it's not about comparison between race. It's about it's about stopping a genocide. And when you look at it in terms of what it really is, the target is not as important as the act, in a way. The victims are important as individuals, and the fact that most of them are black people is very much it is the major component of the problem itself. There is a targeted genocide against black Americans. It is real, it exists, and it's been happening for over a century. But it's not the black Americans part, it's the targeted genocide part. That is simply wrong on its own. It could be Chinese people, it could be dolphins, it could be, anything. When you exterminate a race of people, you are committing a wrong. Like, and you have to look at it in those terms, because that's what it is. And I don't think racism is the end of the story. I think the end of the story is a superiority complex. I think the end of the story is that there are people who are in power who only know how to feel good by murdering. And if it wasn't black people, it would be Jews. And if it wasn't Jews, it would be Catholics. And if it wasn't Catholics, it would be homosexuals. And if it wasn't homosexuals, it would be, redheads. And if it wasn't redheads, it would be short people.
They'd find something.
Absolutely. I'm not going to call it mental illness because that would be a target.
Yeah, always have to make up some sort of nebulous other to work against.
Right. I'm at a point in my life where, well, and we were talking about noticing different things in this episode than our younger viewings. I haven't seen this episode. Well, I did a Deep Space Nine watch through probably 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was the last time that I went straight through, and probably the last time I saw that episode was about that long ago. And I'm now in a point in my life that what hits me the hardest in that episode is seeing the children in the sanctuary center and seeing, I like how they showed the children in this. They didn't do the thing that Star Trek The Next Generation is often really guilty of, which is making children into smaller adults. They push this idea that, education is better and social conditions are better, which is all great, but you can't turn a 7-year-old into a 20-year-old. Like a child is still going to be a child. They will develop on their own, and children are still children. But in this episode, you saw, horrible conditions, but the children still playing outside. And you saw kids behaving innocently and finding the joy in their surroundings. It's a nice sunny day and they're out playing hopscotch, and kids will do that anywhere. And you, at least I start thinking, about the kids I see in my neighborhood here. The little black toddler from next door who, she's a runner. Mom or dad will take her outside. Even to go from their place to the car, and she'll stop halfway and look real defiant, and they'll try to encourage her to come on, and it's just a matter of time before she starts backing away and then turns and sprints down the sidewalk, and they always have to go chase her, and it's adorable. And I mean, I'm in a town of about 17,000 people or so, and I thought I was going to be pretty far away from all this, and we had a protest that got to the point of shots fired into the air and crowds being chased away a couple of nights ago. And I mean, I could easily walk to where that was from where I live in 15 minutes. I could bike in 5. That's just where my mind goes, is that how would that poor little black girl fare if she wasn't lucky enough to be in this small town where that's all the worse it got? How many little girls like her are in Minneapolis or Seattle or LA or Columbus or Cleveland or DC or New York or Boston who live downtown, or who can't get away, or whose mother or father was executed for no reason by the police? That's where my mind goes these days. And what gives me the privilege to, I've gone out every day for the past week, and I've taken at least a 5-mile bike ride. And I've been nervous to walk out the door to do it, and that's why I forced myself to do it, is because I refuse to be a slave to just so much fear that I don't go outside my home until there really is a riot right outside. I refuse to do that. If for no other reason, by being there, I'm asserting my right to be there. I have the right to peaceably assemble, and I have the right to be around public spaces, and I will not give that up. But, I go outside and I go to the bike path, or I ride around the neighborhood, and it's just like any other day around here. It's just, the neighbors are pleasant, people are mowing their lawn, businesses, traffic. I see people on the trails. What makes me so special that I can just go do that? Don't get me wrong, I don't want to be in the middle of a riot, but what did I do during that? Nothing. So why should I have it any better? Why shouldn't everybody have the comfort that I'm enjoying? And I don't know what else to say. And there's going to be somebody, I know there is. I have some ideas in mind of who, but I don't know. But there's going to be somebody who listens to me say that and says, well, when I was young, I was idealistic. And I thought that the world was fair. And I learned that you just have to take what you can get and, try to be honest, but, you just have to, when you get older and you learn some things, you'll harden up too. And what a fucking pathetic fate. If I never want to be that person. I hope I die before I reach that mindset. Because that's what got us here. The belief that the world hurt me, therefore I might as well hurt the world back. Like that woman said at the desk, she tried to help somebody and almost got fired, so now she just does her job because it. Like, that's how it happens. So I guess maybe the answer to that question is the question of, how did we let it get this far is we've incentivized apathy. We've incentivized, well, the phrase that, that we've been using to criticize political decisions and certain ideologies for the past 15 years is you, I've got mine. We've incentivized that socially and through our institutions. And once you start to make a little progress, somebody slaps you down just enough to give you that little nudge to say, well, I'm just going to keep my head down and everybody because I don't get rewarded for what I do. I mean, what gives us the right? I don't know whether to say I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I
hope it made you think.
Mm-hmm.
And I challenge you to do something about this. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.